Alrighty, we're on the last part of our makeup routine. You'll need a fluffy round brush, and we're starting with a light shade of brown. With this lightest shade of brown, I'm putting it just above the crease of my eyelid. Don't even worry about putting any of it on your lid at all. This is going just above the eyelid. The key to this entire look is going to be blending, and I'm going to say it a lot throughout this tutorial, but make sure everything is blended out. You can see here I start drawing the eyeshadow out in a wing shape. We can clean it up later, but go ahead and start blending it out past the end of your eyelid. Now you'll need a medium brown shade. So this one is just going to be a tiny bit darker than the last brown we used. It's also going above the crease of the eye, but we're not blending this one out quite as much, so don't take it all the way up to the brow bone like you did with the last one. Now you need a slightly smaller brush, so you can see the difference between the sizes. The brushes are going to get smaller as we go, so we can get more detailed and precise. This is our third shade of brown, and that's all the browns we'll use, so you need a light brown, a medium brown, and a dark brown. We're going to apply this to the outer corner of our eyelid and draw it in towards about the center of our eyelid. So you don't need any product in the inner corners just yet. This is just the middle and the outer corner. We're also going to put this brown where we put the other two browns. So once again, just above the crease of our eyelid. So you should be able to see a dark brown, a medium brown, and then a light brown. And then I'll take a clean brush and try and blend the dark brown on the outer corner into that wing shape. And it's going to take you a few tries to keep the pigmentation of the dark brown, but also not have a harsh line. So just kind of play around with it. If you blend it out too much, just go back in every now and then and add a little bit more brown. That's what I'm doing here. And as you go along, just keep dragging it out into that triangular wing shape. Like I said, we're going to clean it up later, but you still want it to all be blended out in that wing shape. Here's the fun part. I love concealer, so I'm using that same e.l.f. concealer I used, same brush I used for my brows earlier. And this is where we're going to do a cut crease. When we do a cut crease, it will not be in the crease. It's going to be slightly above the crease. That way, when I'm looking at you straight on, just like this, you can still see the color. So you want to make sure you're cutting it above the eyelid. If it's right in the crease of the eyelid, we won't see it. Now we're going to drag that concealer into the inner corner of our eyelid. I would say don't go past halfway. The goal is to see silver on the eyelid and then a medium brown and then a black at the end. So this is how it should look at this point. You want to make sure that when you're looking straight on, you can still see the cut crease. That's the goal for this entire look. Now taking a very flat, dense brush, take your most pigmented silver that you have, and we're going to put it in the inner corner of the eye. Now I'm just touching up that brown from earlier because I brought in my concealer a little bit too far. So this is what I was talking about. You should see the silver on the inner corner, the brown in the middle, and in a second we'll add some black in. And now with our very smallest brush, we're going to go in with black. Try your hardest not to overdo the black. When I do it, I just think about drawing like a tiny little sideways V on the outer corner of my eye, if that makes sense. You can see I'm kind of brushing it in like a V pattern here. And then we're going to gently drag that out. This is where it could get tricky. Just make sure you're starting off lightly because you can always pack more on, but you can't take it off once it's there. And like I said earlier, this look is a lot of going back and forth and just making sure everything is blended and seamless. So here I just felt like I didn't have enough silver, so I just added a little bit more on. Just make whatever adjustments you feel, if you feel you need more brown or black, whatever it may be. I would say it's more of a like intermediate look, so it's going to take a few tries to get it perfect. So just feel free to play around with it. Another fun part with concealer, look at how clean this makes it. So I just put a tiny bit on a sponge. You could use a brush if you want. And I just draw up and out. And look at how clean it is. If you're gonna do that though, only use the tiniest bit of concealer because you don't want to mess up the powders that you already used to set your face. And after that, I just put a little bit more highlight on top of it just to blend it back in. So they obviously didn't do winged eyeliner during this time period, but I am drawing like kind of a thicker layer of eyeliner on my lid. And then because we want everything blended together, I'm going to go back in with a tiny bit of black just to blend the liner and the black shadow together. I use another tiny little brush and you'll see it just blends in the outer corner of the eyeliner into the black eyeshadow. So it gives it a really seamless look. This part is so fun. I feel like it really ties in the look all together and it makes it just like a little more glam. So I'm just using lash glue and I'm just tracing the line of where we cut the crease earlier. Get any loose glitter you have. I literally got this from Dollar Tree along with the little container it was in. It's just craft glitter. And I take a tiny skinny brush and I just line the crease with glitter. I do this with all my cut creases. I think it just makes it look so much prettier and a little more defined without being like overly glittery. I'm using strip lashes. You can use whatever you want if you have a preference. This is just me showing you how one corner is always shorter than the other corner. So make sure you're putting the short end on the inner corner of your eye. If you struggle with your lashes falling off or like the inner corner lifting, use this method. I promise it won't fail you. So first I use the wand basically exactly how you would put on eyeliner. Just line the eyelid and then put a thick layer of glue on the lash band as well. You're gonna let this dry, but don't put it on too soon. Let it dry for like 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. You want both the lash and the eyelid to be tacky before you put it on. I just went ahead and did the other eye to match, and I'm putting on my lipstick, and that is your show makeup. Yay, we're done. This is what it should look like all together. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask.